Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. Today we got a bonus episode for the Attitude Era review series, WWF SmackDown, from September 2nd, 1999. I did originally want to do these before the Unforgiven 99 review. Things didn't turn out that way, but I am still going to go through with the reviews. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's dive right into this. I got about 3 or 4 more episodes of SmackDown after this to review, so hope you guys enjoy. Let me know your thoughts on these. This was only the second episode of SmackDown, apart from the pilot they did in April. So there was one episode the week before this. This is the second go around. This was in Worcester, Massachusetts. We got Michael Cole and the King on commentary this week. For the debut episode of SmackDown, they had JR and the King, which I love that. So who knows why or what, but JR wasn't on commentary or for these next few episodes. Seems like they were just trying different things out. So this show opens up with Chyna, who was the number one contender for the IC title, in a match versus Billy Gunn. And we got Jeff Jarrett on commentary. This is a good back and forth. Billy Gunn hits the Famouser, but then Triple H interferes, hits the pedigree. Sorry, I just kind of lost my train of thought. Triple H hits the pedigree. 1, 2, 3. Chyna actually gets a nice pop here. I liked how they did this. Triple H was a heel, and so was Chyna. But at the same kind of time, they're turning Chyna face to go into this program with Jeff Jarrett. And it's a weird dynamic. It's really kind of weird that Chyna's kind of a face and a heel at the same time. When she's going against Jarrett, she's a baby face. And when she's with Triple H, she's playing a heel, helping Triple H cheat. So Triple H is the WWF champion here. And Chyna will secure the number one contendership. Up next, we got the highlights from The Rock and Sock winning the tag team championships on Raw. This was a big moment, and obviously we know that Undertaker was suffering an injury at this time, so I think that's the real reason why they pulled the belts off Big Show and Undertaker. We got the Big Show in the ring calling out the Undertaker. Now, I know very few men call out the Undertaker, and out comes Paul Bearer and says, "You ain't getting the Undertaker," because he's mad at you for losing those tag titles on Raw. Big Show lays out Paul Bearer. Undertaker comes out and says, "You did a number on Paul there," and then kind of whispers something in his ear, and they go backstage. We got a Mankind promo, and he's talking about the testicular fortitude, playing his electronic football game, being embarrassed by his mother, seeing him naked. And then that was his most embarrassing moment until he lost to Shane McMahon. I believe that was the week prior on SmackDown. We got a Rock and a Shane McMahon promo. Who's going to be the number one contender for Triple H's title? Second match of the night here, The Fink versus Tony Chimel. And this is a tuxedo match. So at first, Tony Chimel, he backs down, he says, "Howard, I don't know what's gotten into you, but, just kind of get lost." Fink jumps him from behind, and you see Jericho backstage watching the monitor, and And Tony gets the better of Fink here and kind of strips him down. He's got some red undies on. And Fink runs backstage. He's embarrassed. Third match of the night, Jericho versus X-Pac. We've seen these two go at it quite a bit during this time period. This is their first official match together on television. During the match, you see Shamrock watching backstage. You see Undertaker and Big Show on the stage watching the match. Chris Jericho hits the lion salt for a 2 count. Bronco Buster to Chris Jericho. Big Show runs down. Interference on X-Pac, causing the disqualification. Shamrock runs out, chasing Jericho out of the arena. And Kane makes the save on X-Pac. So they're kind of intertwining two storylines into this match here with the X-Pac, Kane, Big Show, and Undertaker stuff, kind of wrapping that thing up, as well as the Jericho Shamrock feud, which never really went anywhere. Up next, we actually have a WWF Championship match. Earlier in the match, or in the night, I forgot to mention this, Shane McMahon was mentioning that Triple H would face that bald-headed SOB. And here we are at the match. Triple H is like, come on, who is it? It's Gillberg. That's right, Triple H versus Gillberg actually happened. Gillberg hits 2 or 3 spears. Triple H, gets up very quickly, hits the pedigree for 3, and then hits the chair to the knees, similar like he did Austin at SummerSlam. So this was all kind of a rib back on, what he would do to Austin. Here's where things get interesting. We see the big boss man's at the hotel, and this is where Al Snow eats Pepper. Al Snow is sitting in Boss Man's hotel. He's like, come on, all I want is my friend back. You took Pepper from me. Please, just give me my friend back. And he's like, here, Al, I want you to have some food. He starts eating. He's like, oh yeah, don't get one of those paws in your teeth. That's right, 100% grade A. Pepper. Al Snow gets out of the chair, or he tries to get out of the chair. The chair sticks on him, and he's throwing up in the hotel room. Boss Man takes that plate of food, smashes him over the head. Tastes like chicken. And that would be kind of the end of that. Next up, the Mankind versus The Rock. Yes, I said the Mankind. This is for the #1 contendership. And good back and forth. We see a Mr. Socko, rock bottom, and then a ref bump. Shane runs out. Triple H, China all interfere, causing a double disqualification, and says there is no #1 contender. You guys failed to win the match. And that's it. Next up here, we got Val Venus versus Ken Shamrock. Shamrock's actually just wearing jeans in this match. He's not wearing his traditional tights. Quick match. We've seen an ankle lock, and Val Venus taps out very quickly. Steve Blackman comes out with the nunchucks, chopping down Ken Shamrock there like he would do. And Jericho comes on the Titantron calling out Ken Shamrock to the parking lot. And backstage we see some guy doing like the Jericho pose. It's actually the Fink. Jericho comes from behind with a shovel, puts him in the lion tamer, and Howard Finkel takes a Polaroid of him and says, yep, there we go. And he tosses Fink in the trunk and drives away. So a lot of ribbon on the square here with Fink. He's in his underwear, he's traveling in the trunk. And once again, we see Shane McMahon, Triple H, and China saying The Rock and Mankind will have a rematch tonight because we still don't have a number one contender. Test comes out with Linda and Stephanie, his bride to be, and saying, you know what, enough with your games. You're going to have a match tonight, Shane, says Linda, and it's going to be you teaming up with Triple H to face the Rock and Sock Connection. And then Shane says, okay, then it's for the WWF Tag Team titles. And this is actually pretty big because Triple H has the opportunity to become a double champion, being the current WWF champion and winning the tag titles, which not too many have done. We would see a lot of guys do it, later on, Austin, for example. So we got a Tag Team Turmoil up next. Start off with the Hollies versus Mideon and Viscera. We see a Samoan drop and a big splash to Mideon. Hollies advance. Yeah, Viscera hits Mideon there. Out next are Draws and Prince Albert. Hollies with kind of a Michinoku driver for a 3. Out next are the New Brood. I always love these tag team turmoils. New Brood with Matt and Jeff Hardy. They it's hard. So they eliminate the Hollies. APA comes out. Swanton, clothesline from hell for 3. The Blue Meanie and Stevie Richards are out next. And Blue Meanie is just dancing his way to the ring. He doesn't even make it to the ring. Stevie Richards just gets a massive power bomb from the Acolytes for a 3. Edge and Christian are out next. And they go back and forth for a few minutes with the Acolytes before the Dudley Boys make their SmackDown debut, causing a DQ. And they have 2x4s attacking the Acolytes. In the main event for the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championships, the Rock and Sock defending against Triple H and Shane McMahon. How things change, they always stay the same. We still have Shane McMahon here in 99, as in we do 2019. 20 years later. So Shane McMahon hits a Bronco Buster on Mankind. China with a low blow to Mankind. We see Billy Gunn interfere, hitting a Famouser to Triple H. And remember, earlier in the night, Triple H cost Billy the number one contendership for the IC title. Rock bottom, people's elbow, crowd goes crazy here, and Rock and Sock retain the tag titles. This was a really fun episode of SmackDown. I don't think it was as good as the week prior, but this was a pretty solid show. Overall, I think, it had its highs and lows. Probably the most memorable thing would be the Big Boss Man and Al Snow. The whole Pepper thing was really disgusting. Other than that, not too many things really stand out. You got the Dudley Boys making their debut. And a lot of promos here. Jericho, Shamrock, The Fink, Triple H. This was a good time to be a fan. As always, let me know if you have seen this. Comment down below. We'll talk to you later. Peace.